The offenders were the Reynolds Metals Company and the notorious Aluminum Company of America. The Mohawk cattle were so ridden with bone disease that they couldn't even stand up and had to crawl along the pastures like snails. Many of them couldn't even graze as their teeth had crumbled to the nerves and they were forced to starve. Birds and bees fled the area, and crops and trees couldn't survive. The fish were ulcerated with spinal deformities, and worst of all, Mohawk children had damaged bones and teeth. The Mohawk tribe sued the two aluminum companies for $150 million, but after 5 years, only ended up with a $650,000 settlement. In 1939, Cox, who had been getting paid by an aluminum company facing fluoride lawsuits, came out publicly to propose mandatory water fluoridation. Other bought and paid for scientists did the same. What I am referring to is fluoride in the public water supply. Many will be quick to assume that anyone who thinks this could be a problem for our health is a nut, a quack, and a conspiracy theorist. In World War II, fluoride lawsuits piled up, and the Journal of the American Medical Association came out and said, fluorides are general protoplasmic poisons, changing the permeability of the cell membrane by certain enzymes.
Here's where it gets crazy.
Over the coming years, the Public Health Service would adopt an extremely pro-fluoridation stance. The Public Health Service was under the jurisdiction of the Treasury Department. The Treasury Secretary at the time was none other than billionaire Andrew Mellon. Mellon was the founder of the Aluminum Corporation of America, the biggest firm in the aluminum industry. In 1947, President Truman appointed Oscar R. Ewing as the head of the Federal Security Agency, which encompassed the Public Health Service. Ewing and the Public Health Service launched the push for mandatory fluoridation and mobilized establishment groups of dentists and doctors. Ewing's goal was to unite the establishment center and the respectable left to advocate against the right-wing anti-fluoridation kooks, such as the John Birch Society, which was outspoken on the matter. To manage the public relations for this campaign, he hired none other than the father of public relations, Edward Bernays. Here comes some more insanity. Before Ewing arrived in Washington, he was the longtime legal counsel, and at the time, chief legal counsel of the Aluminum Corporation of America. His legal efforts for the company were earning him $750,000 per year, or the equivalent of just under $11 million in today's money. We could make an entire video on Sigmund Freud's nephew, Edward Bernays, as he changed marketing forever by transforming the public's opinions on topics instead of just trying to sell products. Bernays is quoted saying, "Large numbers of persons will follow the advice of their doctors because he, the PR man, understands the psychological relationship of dependence of man on their physician."
In all my years at EPA, I've never seen any instance where politics has gotten more in the way of good science being applied to public health than in the case of fluoride.
And the situation may be that we, in fact, may have been causing many health problems that we are having to put up with today.
It is abundantly clear that water fluoridation is a golden child of industry, government, and academia, an unquestionable fixture in modern public health resembling a religion. It's important to keep this in mind when discussing the topic. The powers that be are actively censoring and dismissing information suggesting it might be harmful. After all, they kind of have to. What are they going to say to people? Oh yeah, that fluoride we've been dumping into the water the last half century that we said was safe? Turns out it's a toxin. Sorry guys.